Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bitcoin, brought to you by CrackingCryptocurrency.com. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Wall Street Journal's hit piece on Shapeshift, a $1 trillion Bitcoin wallet, and I'm also going to talk about lobbyists in Washington accepting Ripple as bribe money, plus the world-famous technical analysis of Bitcoin and any other cryptos you guys want me to check out. You don't want to miss this, guys. Let's get cracking. Hey, I'm your host, Justin Wise. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to keep up to date on the latest trade signals and news and going on in the crypto world, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And if you're a return viewer, hey man, give us those thumbs up and comment down below. Let us know what you think. All right, so today is a pretty good day for crypto, I guess. Just kind of relaxing, especially on the gains part. I'm relaxed. I'm out of the market on a lot of things. It's kind of a good time to relax and cool. Things are still building up. Forces are coming together, as we've been talking about for a while. The trend lines are getting tighter. We've seen some pops in crypto, but 20, 30% in crypto's nothing to sneeze at, but nothing to call your mom over. We all sat through 2017. We all sat through 2018. We're waiting for those big moves. We're waiting for the optimum time to get in. So let's take a look at some interesting news coming out today. Now, yesterday, the Wall Street Journal put out a piece that over $89 million or something along that number was laundered through Shapeshift and other crypto-related exchanges. And, it's funny. I read the article. And what I'm going to display on the screen is the Wall Street Journal. I'm not going to support the Wall Street Journal, a former newspaper. I'm not going to support them enough to actually sign in and create an account. So you guys can do what you want. There's a decent summary over on CoinDesk. And if by decent summary you mean like 2 paragraphs, I guess they're still paying these authors to do something. I don't know. I don't really understand that. But Eric Voorhees shot back after this really kind of poorly researched article came out and said, yeah, like maybe some money was laundered through a crypto exchange, but the numbers that you indicated, that was 0.2% of our total volume for the period that you studied, compared to banks, which laundered $2.7 billion worth of illicit funds for drug dealers or terrorists, criminal organizations, etc. every single day, and 2 to 5% of their volume over the same period. So let's let's put this in perspective, So I like that he shot back. I'll show you his tweet. Let's actually take a look at that. Shoot. Press the wrong button. All right, that's the button I meant to press. Hey, guys. So here's the Wall Street Journal article. Yes, I know you guys use cookies. Journal investigation documents suspicious trades through venture capital-backed Shapeshift. A North Korean agent, a stolen credit card peddler, and the mastermind of an $80 million Ponzi scheme had a common problem. They had to launder their dirty money. Launder money, make it clean. So anyways, this article kind of goes off for a while, and Eric Voorhees tweets out, he's like, hey, we are aware of the poorly researched piece written against us by somebody at Wall Street Journal. The implications are disingenuous and misleading, and he posts this infographic: laundered by banks $2.7 billion per day, alleged illicit funds through Shapeshift $9 million in 2 years. So author cherry-picked data, excluding facts contrary to vilification narrative. $9 million figure is less than 0.2% of our volume over the time period. Meanwhile, global money laundering through banks is 2 to 5%. I like that last sentence. Op-ed forthcoming. Boss mode. So it's good to see people fighting back against the Wall Street Journal, a former newspaper. So looking at some other highlights today, I read these articles. You can check them out if you want. BitGo talking about their wanting to build a wallet that will manage $1 trillion. Obviously, BitGo really trying to reach out to institutional investors and be that cold storage security solution. And I think one of the most poignant things in that article is that when you start talking about large amounts of money, and we talk about how cryptocurrency is the most secure currency, and it is, but the problem with cryptocurrency that you have to that you have to deal with, you have to figure out how you're going to solve this issue, is how are you going to physically secure your private keys once you have them in cold storage? If you have a lot of money and any attacker comes into your house and is prepared to use violence or intimidation against you, most individuals are not equipped and capable of dealing with that. Highly recommended that you're able to physically protect yourself. Highly recommended that you have physical security measures in place. Highly recommended that you are proficient in a firearm and own a firearm so that you can defend yourself and your family against attackers and malicious offenders. So, but if you're not willing to take these steps, then you're going to have a hard time of it. Now, so what, obviously that's where a custodial solution like BitGo comes into it. Obviously we've seen people who have lots of Bitcoin who didn't take their Bitcoin seriously be kidnapped and attacked, especially when they go into other countries that are not first world countries. So you just have to be aware of the physical security requirements of Bitcoin. And the wonderful thing about Bitcoin is that it's a technological solution to a human problem, and that's why it's successful. That's why it's valid. And so technology can help you solve this physical security problem also. So obviously, if you're just worried about, you have to make it so that it's not readily easy to access all your funds for an attacker. And so you can take precautions such as being physically secure and working on your physical security. But you can also create something like a multi-signature wallet where you can have 2 to 3 people that you trust that are required to sign off on large amounts of withdrawals, and then you can have something like a checking account and a savings account. So your checking account's got a couple grand in there, and then your saving account has the bulk of your wealth. However that you want to do that so that if you were, God forbid, to get attacked, you're not losing out on a whole lot of money. Moving on, just an interesting article to check out. But I think what's most poignant about this is the fact that, these are big companies. BitGo is staffed by extremely intelligent and well-researched, good technological people. And they're already foreseeing $1 trillion custodial service for them. That lets you know the crypto financials on the future. These are not dudes sitting in their living room and programming things for Bitcoin Core. Not saying that Bitcoin Core programmers are not professional or unethical. They're probably some of the best programmers out there today because they're working on the best technological solution to mankind's existential problem of power and control. BitGo, however, contains extremely smart mainstream individuals. You've got Wall Street types on there. You've got security experts on there. You've got, technological experts, great programmers. And these individuals don't mess around with these large amounts of money. So when they say, hey, we're going to get $1 trillion, we're creating a custodial solution for institutional investors and hedge funds. And they say, we've got dozens of hedge funds that want to work with us. That lets you know, investor stock, boy, Bitcoin hot. So the next article that I think is interesting is Ripple led advocacy group to pay lobbyists in XRP. And basically the summation of this is that individuals with ties to Ripple are creating agencies or organizations and reaching out to other lobbyists to basically lobby on behalf of Ripple and the XRP token to have better legislation and better lawmaking for Ripple. So that's pretty interesting. And now listen, it's a little misleading because they are paying them like 25 grand a month or something like that, but they are also giving them 10,000 XRP. So the fact that they're willing to take this, I think is pretty telling. Hey, we're going to pay you to advocate for XRP, and here's the XRP, and it's going to go up in value if you do your job well, which we're already paying you for in USD. So that gives them a financial incentive, because if you just pay somebody to do something in cash, yeah, that's one financial incentive. You've paid me to perform a service, but if you give me an asset that can valuate based on the decisions that I make, well, then you have given me a much, much more poignant financial incentive to do what I need to do. All right, enough of the news. Let's get to the charts, guys. So taking a look at Bitcoin today. Obviously, we've got Bitcoin trailing sideways. We've got Ethereum trailing sideways. We got Stellar Lumens popped off trailing sideways, and Ripple popped off trading sideways. So sideways day, a little bit red, a little bit green. It's a good time to just kind of relax, take your profits from Lumens and Ripple. and just chill out. So looking at Bitcoin in the big picture, we came up, touched off the trend line that I had drawn in my last video. You know, this isn't science, people. This is just smart trading. Our next target, obviously, if we're going to touch off this, if we don't break through, we're looking to come back and test this this lower support line right here. I'll be interested to see what that happens. Now, because of this, there is a short trade in play, but I'm not in position. And the reason why is because if you take a position at current level on the daily chart and you set your stop to just a little bit above the swing high, then you don't have a good risk to reward ratio based on your current target. You know, obviously, you know, you can drag it down and be more generous, but then you're overshooting the current target and you're hoping on target 2, which is not the best way to trade. The best way to trade is to assume that you're going to hit target 1, and if you pass beyond it, set your stop loss, so that you can continue to let profits run if they run, but then if they reverse, you lock in that profit. So based on the small risk to reward ratio, I'm not in position right now. I just don't think it's worth it for the short trade on the daily chart. Now, if you want to trade on a lower time frame, that's absolutely fine, but I just don't have time right now to trade anything that's not more long-term. And for me personally, I mean, trading at lower leverage, safer trades. TD sequential is not the most interesting at the moment. Give it a second to load. All right. So TD sequential on the daily chart, again, obviously 9 counts to the upside. We're currently on a my colors are reversed. So I'm going to speak in the colors that people are familiar with and just keep that cognitive dissonance in your head that they are actually the reverse of what I have on my screen. So we're on a red 2 of 9, even though on my chart it's a green 2 of 9. Why? Because traditionally, the way that the color scheme is defaulted and the way that most people talk about it is red numbers indicate setups to buy. And that means price is going down. And green indicates setups to, or excuse me, flip that. Green indicates setups to sell, price is going up, and red indicates setups to buy, price is going down. That doesn't make sense to me. I like to be color coordinated. I like to buy on green and sell on red. So that's why I have the colors flipped. So we're on a red 2 of 9. We haven't had a strong count. We're still trading within this range. Here's obviously our risk limit, but that's fairly high up on the daily, so I'm not super really concerned about that, not using it as a valid. Now, we're still on a sell countdown, 9 to the upside. However, I think that's invalid, and I talked about that over here, how this actually more genuinely should have been that buy setup. So, especially based off trend lines and where we're at. So, even though overall, and I still stick to this, we're in a great buying position, I still do believe that we're going to see capitulation before we see the pop back up. And so what I think that's going to look like is a sharp dive, a sharp spike, people really trying to clear out the entire market and really let all these limit orders down here get filled by the large institutional investors and the people with big pockets. I think that's definitely going to happen because that's going to shove retail traders out of the way and fleece them. So if you're in the market, stay in the market. Otherwise, set your limit orders for a nice little sell playing the big picture. Looking at our Cracking Crypto Fisher Transform strategy, you can see that I've changed the calculation on the EMA from green to red based off the 55 and the 120. We're still trying different things with the indicator, but it's still being pretty successful for us, having a lot of fun with it. All right, so we had, again, we're in the red market, so we're looking to take trades to the downside. And so we've had some pretty gosh darn good trades here. And as you can see, I'm not in position. I didn't enter into this position either because I saw how rangy this still was. This just isn't the best place that I want to be in position. I want to react and not predict, although both play hand in hand. But I got to see which way we're going to pop, up or down. Up, I'll go long. Down, I'll go short. Obviously, as I just said, expecting capitulation down to this lower level and then the move back up, but I'm just going to react to the market. We'll just see what happens, guys. So, some interesting stuff here for our pivots and Fibonacci levels. Hope you guys are having a good day. Listen, if you're struggling with the charts, reach out to us in the Discord. We'd love to talk and help you out. There's nothing holding you back from being a successful trader. There's nothing holding you back from understanding any of this. There's nothing holding you back from making good gains except yourself. You can do this. Just tell yourself that and keep that positive mentality, because I can just speak for myself. All the twists and turns and mistakes I made to lead me to where I am today. So do not get discouraged. And if you're confused on some of this, leave a comment down below. Ask your questions. More than happy to help you guys out. So I like how we hit all the major retracements. We hit the 660. After we came down, we hit the 61.8. Then we came back after we fell down, came back up to the 38.2, came down, came back up to the 23.6. So I definitely want to thank a particular trader for turning me on to this Smart Fibo. It's a really quick, easy tool to help me do something that I used to do by hand all the time. You know who you are. You're still welcome to come on the show if you would like to. Now, let's see here. So, I mean, we've got some interesting things. Obviously, we're consolidating right around the pivot point, and we're looking to break one way or the other, which coincides completely with our symmetrical triangle. So, we just don't have a strong position to go with right now, guys. Do I think capitulation? More likely, definitely. But I'm out of the market, and I think you should be too. Unless you're market like low leverage way long for the ultimate for the penultimate bull run, throw the pen in there, that's fine. I just don't think that's the best way to manage your position at the moment. So hopping out, looking at Ethereum, that's depressing. Getting out of Ethereum. Stellar lumens. Let's see here. Okay. So yeah, we see where we had our entry down here using the Cracking Crypto Fisher Arrows custom strategy. That would have been a good one right there, and that could have taken you all the way to the pivot. I mean, that was a really good entry. And what I like about this is that we're mitigating losses, and then when you do have a good trade, I mean, it completely smashes all those tiny losses or tiny gains just out of the park. I mean, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, or we still haven't gotten the sell signal yet. So you could play this multiple ways. You could have your stop loss right down here below the swing low. That'd be a good way to play it. And you could still be in position, or you could just be like really happy with this trade and take profits. It's however you want to do. So we'll do a further video on this later. I want to kind of wrap this up because this is getting long. And Ripple, kind of the exact same thing. Fisher Arrows, pivots, and Smart Fibo. Yeah. Again, this trade would have been decent, and it would have given you the entry signal right here, and you're still in position. Obviously, you can take profits. You can set your stop loss below the swing low. It's kind of however you guys want to play this trade. But since we went up through the pivot, but then back down, I want to see which direction we go, up or below the pivot, because we're consolidating right now. If we go higher, obviously that would be. We have the potential to go much higher. So there is a validity to staying in the market in your current position if you entered or if you are still long. I would wait if you're not in position both on Lumens and on Ripple to wait and see what happens, because they're going to mirror Bitcoin. So we need to wait and see. All right, guys, that's pretty much all that I have. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me, I guess, do the calls to action. Obviously, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below with what you liked. If you don't like the video, give us those thumbs down and tell me why you didn't like it so that I can improve the content and the channel. We have a wonderful trading community. We are trying to grow. We are going to grow the biggest trading community, the most successful trading community. So you guys, I'd love to have you on board. we're just going to get bigger and bigger, and there's no stopping us. So hit us up in the Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Check out our website. We're on Twitter, Facebook, social links in the description down below as always. And don't get discouraged if any of this is confusing. This is a wonderful day. You all have wonderful opportunities. So just keep your head up, guys, and keep those Bitcoins rolling. All right, guys. I'm Justin Wise for Cracking Cryptocurrency, and y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.